50 years of diplomatic relations between Israel and Germany, a statement for peace. The sky was glowing when several hundred people met at a peace meeting on a hill above Bensheim. The Jerusalem Peace Memorial, created through a private initiative by Thomas Zeringer, represents a place of healing for deep wounds and the appreciation of life. Where did the idea for the Peace Memorial come from?
That was, as weird as it may sound, the idea came to me in a dream, an actual dream. I dreamt about it one morning in 1998, at the same time as the debate about the Holocaust Memorial. It was so conclusive for me that I said to myself, we have to face the consequences from this terrible past, and what does this mean for us today? And there must be light. It must be something that has a positive effect on us, something I had not found at the time. But instead, feelings of guilt, people who think they may no longer walk upright due to what had happened, or a very strong rejection, which is actually a result of that same underlying feeling. And I asked myself, what can break through that? What can we do to bring it into motion, which will help the healing process on all sides?
The chairman of the Central Council of Jews in Germany, Dr. Joseph Schuster, wrote, "I consider building a peace memorial for the German-Jewish relations a significant commitment." Tell us something about the memorial. How is it structured?
Viewed from above, we have a tree of life in the center. This tree of life represents the connection between heaven and earth, a connection to a higher power. For the religious among us, it's a connection to God. And it is a sign of life, a connection to the power that creates life and an open heart. This tree of life breaks through a dark area with stones that represent blockades in the human soul, and even more so in the human mind, where we form our concepts, think about the world, about truth, giving us new ground to argue, as some people feel the need to do. This tree of life means letting go of this whole madness, to come to our senses, to the recognition of being free.
A special example of the experience comes from the participation of Mrs. Dagan, who can tell her story as a Shoah survivor, a story of flight, expulsion, suffering, and death. But it's also a story of hope, strength, and the effort to overcome hatred. Is this the first time you've been in this region?
It's the first time in this region, but I spend a lot of time in Germany, particularly in Mecklenburg, Western Pomerania, because I was in Ravensbrück, my second camp, and I work today with youths in Ravensbrück for 13 years now.
Describe the feeling when you come to Germany. What does that feel like?
Well, the feeling has changed over time. In the beginning, I cried when I heard German being spoken, since everything I had learned was, well, curses and eternal insults. It brought up so many associations that I simply could not control myself. But as time passed, I understood. I needed time.
Why is it so important?
It is important because I swore to tell our story if I survive. I owe it to the world. I speak for those who cannot or do not want to speak, and for those who are no longer alive. We have sworn to tell our story. The world needs to hear.
Make a change. Instead of silently tolerating the nation like many others, we have to shout to awake the nation.
The songwriter Jens Elois Lachenmayer makes a statement with his thoughtful songs and encourages actively involving oneself and not giving up, even when facing difficulties, which are to be expected in today's changes.
The way I see it, we're not here to separate or to share, but to come together and stand together for this precious gift, which is peace. And I found very early in my life that Hans and Sophie Scholl and the White Rose fought precisely for this great determination of finding peace, and were ultimately even ready to give their lives for the cause. I mean, I don't want to die as a martyr, but I think we all need to show more courage to stand up for the peace we are all yearning for.
The new district administrator of Bergstrasse, Christian Engelhardt, was enthusiastic about the location and found the right word.
I think there are always people who would like to come to Germany. Germany is a prosperous and beautiful country. But most people who come here do so because they're driven out of their homelands by conflicts, by domestic conflicts, persecutions, ethnic conflicts, and especially by war, such as in Syria. If there would be peace everywhere, and if all of us would treat each other better, people would, for the most part, probably stay in their homeland.
Thank you, Hans and Sophie. You gave us new light, new strength, and new breath. Put new hope in sight. Stay strong in defiance of all the wrongs, Sophie wrote on the prison wall. Her gait was proud, the slightest smile on her face, as they led her down the corridor and to her death. Hans' last words before his death: long live freedom in all truth.
German and Israeli youths that are staying in Bensheim for a student exchange carry white stones from the inner circle of the monument to the Jerusalem stone, which represents reconciliation and hope.
It's not politics, but humanity. How to reach the youth. And the youth are my hope. For them to build and fight for a different Germany. The fact that neo-Nazis still exist leaves me speechless. What can I say? Has humanity failed to learn from this horrible tragedy?
Mrs. Dagan supports that with the help of the youths, reconciliation and peace have a chance.
For young people to get to know each other, where they realize that they have the same problems, they share the same developmental issues, as well as other personal problems. And if you get to know one another, you will see the world in a different light. I have many wonderful friends in Germany.
Our teacher has friends at the school in Israel, which is how the contact developed to enable the student exchange. And then there are the students from his political science class in high school. Those who wish to do so may participate in the Israel exchange program. The Israelis first come to stay with us, and then we fly to Israel together in February.
What do you think about that?
After all, we may never get the chance to go to Israel later in life. I think it is important to convey to those living in Israel that things are different in Germany now than they were in the past.
The Jerusalem Peace Memorial in Bensheim, Germany is a sign of peace, which can be visited at all times. And at this beautiful location, war and hatred have no place.